studying heterocyclics. Okay. So what are heterocyclic compounds? It's a cyclic compounds that include an element other than carbon. Okay. Can you everybody hear me? The cyclic compounds that contain an element other than carbon are called as heterocyclic compounds. Some examples are pyridine, if you can see 6-membered ring, where one of the carbon is replaced by your nitrogen. Pyrrole, where it is a 5-membered ring, where one of the carbon in 5-membered ring is replaced by your nitrogen. Furan, 5-membered similarly, where one of the carbon is replaced by oxygen. Thiophene, similarly, it is one of the carbon replaced by your sulfur. So this is an extra element that is included in the ring. So such type of compounds are called as heterocyclic compounds. Okay. So a cyclic compound that contains all carbons in the ring are called carbocyclic. So when all the rings are there, when all the elements in the ring are of carbon atoms in the ring formation, it is called as carbocyclic. And what we say heterocyclic? Heterocyclic compounds are the ring structures in a cyclic compound that has at least 2 different elements in your ring. Like along with carbon, there should be something else included in the ring. In contrast to homocyclic, it contains entirely one same atom. But in case of heterocyclic, there should be at least 2 different elements present in the ring. So these are some of the definitions of heterocyclic compounds. So heterocyclic compounds can be classified as aliphatic, that is cyclic, alicyclic, and aromatic, means saturated and unsaturated heterocyclic. Means saturated means there is single bond, there is no double bonds. Aromatic means there is an unsaturation present in the ring. Okay. So aliphatic heterocyclic are cyclic analogs of amines, ethers, thioethers, and amides. So what are they? They are cyclic analogs of amines. In case of amines means it is piperidine, this thing. Okay. Ethers means thioxine and all. Okay. Thioethers and amides. Aromatic heterocyclic compounds, in contrast, are those compounds that have an heteroatom in the ring, behave similar to that of benzene. See, remember, it behaves similar to that of benzene. Some of them, and they fulfill Huckel's rule. So what is this Huckel's rule? It should be cyclic, it should be planar, it should be conjugated, and it should follow the Huckel's rule, that is 4n plus 2 pi electrons. So it should have 4n pi plus 2 pi electrons. So these are some of the criteria for Huckel's rule. So various compounds such as alkaloids, antibiotics, essential amino acids, vitamins, hemoglobin, hormones, and dyes, they contain heterocyclic ring. So classification. Now, as we said, there are saturated and unsaturated heteroid. So saturated means you got an completely single bond. There is no double bond. There is no unsaturation. So there can be classified according to presence of nitrogen, oxygen, and sulfur. So 3-membered, and they also can be classified as number of atoms present in there. Okay, if there is 3 atoms in the ring, that is known as, if it is nitrogen containing, it is known as aziridine, oxirane, thyrine. The same thing if you go for unsaturation, it is known as azarine, oxirine, and thyrine. So if you see, only in case of nitrogen, there is DINE. Rest all, in case the last 4-digit numbers, last 4 letters are A and E. So sulfur and oxygen. Similarly, in case of nitrogen unsaturation, it is ENE for oxygen and sulfur. Whereas in case of nitrogen, it is INE. So these are some of the differences in nomenclature which you have to see. 4-membered azitidine oxetane, thiatane. Here also you see. In case of nitrogen, it is acid, oxetane, thiide. So these are some of the nomenclatures. This is 5-membered ring. Saturated, it is known as pyrrolidine, oxalane, and thiolane. Whereas unsaturated, it is known as pyrrole, furan, and 6-membered saturated piperidine, which I said it resembles to an amine. Yes or no? Cyclic amine. Oxane, it is an cyclic ether. Thiene is an cyclic ether, thioether. Okay. Its analogs, unsaturated analogs are pyridine, pyrene, that is oxygen containing, and thiopyrene. 7-membered azipane, oxipane, thiopane, that is your saturated, azipine, oxipine, and thiopine. These are some of the names which you have to recollect. This will be coming when you study. So some of the prefixes which you are referring, so you come to know, according to Hans Widman's nomenclature, oxygen with valency 2 are known as oxa. Nitrogen with valency 3 is known as aza. Sulfur is known as thia. Selenium is known as selena. Tellurium is known as tellura. Phosphorus P, phosphor. Arsenic is known as arsa, and silicon is known as sila, and germanium is known as. These are some of the prefixes which are attached to the name. Okay. Oxygen containing means oxa. Sulfur means thia. Nitrogen means aza. So these are some of the prefixes we have to remember. And as you've seen, when I was showing the structure, I said nitrogen containing saturated IRNE, whereas unsaturated without that is ENE. For fully saturated DINE, whereas in this case, not without nitrogen, ANE. So these are some of the changes in the name that you can see, which you have studied when I showed you earlier with the structures. Now, saturated or hydrogenated ring system can be named as dihydro or tetrahydro. Why it is called dihydro or tetrahydro? If you can see furan, if you see the structure of furan over here, if you can see the structure of furan over here, see, there is 2 double bonds. Okay. Now, if you see the structure of tetrahydro, so why it is called tetrahydro? All these 4, there are 4 extra hydrogens that are attached. Your unsaturation is removed, your compound gets saturated, and there are 4.
So,
Hello.
So the slide is not visible.
Slide is not visible. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, can you see the slides now?
Yes, sir. Now it's visible.
Okay, if there is any problem, you can just put it on a text or on a WhatsApp. Okay. Can you see it now?
Sir, can you show the previous slides also?
Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay. This is what I explained earlier, na? RINE, the names, difference in the name. Ol, 5-member, it is ol, and lidine, olane. So these are some of the prefixes that you have to know. This will come. Oxa, aza, did you understand, everybody? Oxygen means oxa, aza, nitrogen means aza, sulfur means thia. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is some of the basics things that you know. Now, if you see this is a saturated ring, yes or no? I'll stop the recording so that I can interact with you. Okay, I'll stop the recording. Okay, wait. Can you see the slides, everybody?
Yes, sir.
So I'll just interact with you people so that I can understand. Serena, can you read this slide?
Saturated or hydrogenated ring systems are named by placing prefix such as dihydro, tetrahydro, etc.
If you see there is a structure. Furan, did you know? I'll just show you it in the board. Can you see the board over here? Pin me up. Can you see the board over here in front? Can you see the board? Yes or no?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Connect
No,
to
sir.
another one. There will be two. One is my screen. Okay, just a minute. Escape. I'll just start my video. Okay, just a minute. I'll just start my video. Can you see? Just a minute. I'll just remove my background. How to remove the background? Can you see now the board, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just take black. Can you see it now? So this is a furan, yes or no? Yes? Can you see it? Board? Hello? Can you see the board? Structure in the
Yes,
board?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, it's a fura. So there is an oxygen over here. There are two double bonds over here. So this is known as fura. Okay. When you remove this, four extra hydrogen comes over here. Yes or no? Yeah. So that's why it is known as tetrahydrofura. Okay. Tetrahydrofura. If there was two extra hydrogen, it is known as dihydrofura. Did you get it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is how you give the naming. Okay. So this is how you call tetrahydrofura. Okay. I don't have lost my listing stat. Okay. What is the next thing? So can you read it for me, slide? Somebody? Devika, can you read it for me, the slide?
Yes, sir.
Huh.
Numbering of the heterocyclic rings becomes
Yeah.
essential when the substance are placed on the ring.
So what is this numbering is very
Conventionally-
important. Rennie, you are asking now how to name the heterocyclic compound.
Yes, sir.
So how now it is how to name the numbering circle. So Rennie, can you read it for me?
Conventionally, the heteroatom is assigned position 1 and the substituents are then counted around the ring in the manner so that as to give them the lowest possible number.
So what it is? So
While
what is the wait a minute? What is the first thing? The heteroatom should be given the
Position 1.
1. So if it is oxygen means oxygen should be given first position. Okay. So you can see
Okay.
the structure now, oxazole 1 2 oxazole. So oxygen is 1, nitrogen is 2. So that is 1 2 oxazole. So your oxygen, your heteroatoms are getting the least possible number. Yes or no? The next thing is now the substituent should get the least possible number. First, the heteroatom should get the least. Then after that, the substituent should get the least. So that's why in the case of it is methyl thiazole, sulfur and nitrogen is getting, sulfur is getting the higher priority and nitrogen is getting the second priority. And if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, if you see in the ring, the methyl is at the 4th position, not at 1, 2, 3. If you go, you should not go anti-clockwise over here. It is go to clockwise because your nitrogen and sulfur should get the least possible number and then your substituent. Did you get this thing? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, Rainy, can you read it for me?
While writing the name of the compound, the substituents are placed in an alphabetical order.
Substituents are named in an alphabet. If you would have seen it in a normal range. So if it is chloro and methyl, so which will be getting the first naming? Chloro. And the position of the chloro you will be writing in numerical followed by the dash and name, comma, second substitution. Okay. This is how you will be writing the name of the compound. Next. Very important. This line is very much important. Okay. Good.
In case the heterocyclic ring contains more than one heteroatom, the order of preference for numbering is oxygen, sulfur, and nitrogen.
So if there are 2 heteroatoms, what should be given the first priority? Oxygen. Then sulfur, then nitrogen. Nitrogen gets the least priority. So if there is oxygen, sulfur, and nitrogen, all the 3 in one. So first priority will be given, numbering should be given to the oxygen, then the sulfur, and then the nitrogen. Did you get this point? You have to remember this. Okay. So what is the priority? Oxygen, sulfur, and nitrogen. Next.
The ring is numbered from the atom of preference in such a way so as to give the smallest possible number to the other heteroatoms in the ring.
Did you get this point? That was I was telling now. So the next heteroatom should get the least possible number in a heterocyclic ring. Understood this point, everybody? You can see it in the example of methyl thiazole. You are giving sulfur 1, nitrogen 3, not in a clockwise direction. If you go, if you can see it over here, if you can you see the cursor, everybody? If you go this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, nitrogen will get in the 4th, but it should get the least possible number. That's why we're going in an anti-clockwise direction. That is sulfur 1, carbon, and then nitrogen. So you should always, your heteroatom should always get the least possible number. Did you get everybody these points? This slide, did everybody understand? This is the most important slides. How you number the heterocycle. What is the priority given? Vilsita?
Oxygen, sulfur, and nitrogen.
Oxygen should be given. So if the ring contains oxygen and sulfur, oxygen will be given the first priority. If the ring contains sulfur and nitrogen, sulfur will be given the first priority. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll go for the next slide. If possible, you can make a note of this. Okay. So see, these are some of the common names. Okay. Non-systemic or common names. So can you just tell me? Who can tell me? Vilsita, can you tell me? What is the first one? How can you explain this? Vilsita, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay. So it is a 5-membered ring. So explain me like that. A 5-membered ring with the oxygen heteroatom, it is known as what?
Furan.
Furan. A 5-membered oxygen, 5-membered ring containing sulfur is known as what?
Thiophene.
Thiophene. Okay. 6-membered ring containing a nitrogen is known as?
Pyridine.
Okay. Now, this goes to the next one. So now if you go to the next compound, you see 2 nitrogens. Yes or no?
Yes.
So they are known as diazine. 6-membered ring is in, is there na? They are known as diazine. So 1,2-diazine is known as what? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you pronounce it for me?
Pyridazine.
Pyridazine.
Zine.
Okay. Now that was your single. Now you go for two-membered fused heterocyclic. So when a benzene is fused to a pyridine, it is known as what? When benzene is fused to a pyridine, it is known as what?
Quinoline.
Quinoline. When benzene is fused to a pyrrole, it is known as what? You know what is pyrrole? Na? Five-membered heterocyclic ring, unsaturated. It is known as indole. When a pyridazine is fused to an imidazole, it is known as purine. And where do you see this purines? It is in your DNA and RNAs. Your purines are. So these are some of the trivial names of their compounds. So there are some more like imidazoles and all. Okay.
So
Yeah. Tell me.
this slide, the purine
Ah.
is having pyridazine, but there is no double bond between N and N.
There is no double bond between N and N. How? See, the ring is cyclic, no? You can show, no?
Yes.
Double bond between N and N. Yes or no? It is an
Yes.
resonance stabilized. Do you know resonance stabilization? Who is this? I didn't know. No. Who asked that out?
Rini,
Chaitanya.
sir.
Huh?
Rini.
Ah, I could understand. Can you draw a resonance structure? Can everybody see the board now? Just look at the board. Since you have asked that out, I clear that out for you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, Nitin, what is the structure? Pyridazine. Like this. Is the structure shown? Yes. NH. Yes or no? Yes, Rennie? This is what.
So there's light on the board so that after benzene is not visible.
Can you see now?
No, sir. Could you draw it to the left?
Can you see now?
Yes, sir. There it's visible.
I'm just drawing a ring NH, double bond, N. This is the structure, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, can I write it like this?
Yes, sir.
So, this is called as resonance structure. Okay? This is called a resonance. Carbon valence is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The carbon valence is satisfied, yes or no, Rennie?
Yes, sir.
So this is called as resonance. You can write it like this also. Okay? Confusion
Okay.
clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anybody's confusion is there? You can ask. Because you'll be right. So now I'll be starting from the next class when I'll be taking. I'll be starting with the structure. So you should be familiar with the structure. You should be familiar with the structures. Got it? Yeah, Rennie, read it now.
There is yet another system of nomenclature for fused rings that is commonly employed.
Yeah.
According to this system, the side of the heterocyclic ring is labeled by the letter A, B, C, etc. Starting from the atom number 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you see the board? Similar to that.
Yes, sir.
So between 1 and 2, it is known as what?
A.
Between the heteroatom is given 1, no? Between 1 and the second carbon, it is known as A phase. Between 2 and 3, it is called as B phase. Between 3 and 4, it is called as C phase. Between 4 and 5, it is called as D phase.
D.
Between 5 and 6, it is called as E phase. And between 1 and 6, it is known as F phase. Did you get this nomenclature? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
or no? Everybody, anybody can ask. Did you understand the nomenclature? Nitrogen is given the 1. Then between 1 and 2, it is A, 2 and 3 is B, 3 and 4 it is 4 C, 4 and 5 D, 5 and 6 E, and 6 and 1 F. Did you get this? Yes or no? I can't hear. Say yes or no, somebody.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just try to connect it to my mobile. Okay. So, who is that? I can't remember any. Cheryl? Explain me the first structure. Benzo-bifuran. Why it is called benzo-bifuran? Benzofuran is called as benzo-bifuran. Why it is called? Tell me.
Benzo-bifuran, because a benzo ring is attached. Benzene ring is
See,
attached.
when benzene is
Then-
attached to a ring, it is called as ben.
Ben.
O is attached. After B, E, and Z, you put an O. Okay. So it is known as
Yes.
benzo. Okay. This is how you, okay. Benzo.
Yes.
Now, why it is called B, and you write it in the bracket, wherever the point of attachment, which phase the benzene ring or any ring fuses with the heteroatom, heterocyclic ring, it is known as which phase? It is written in the square bracket. It is written in square bracket, yes or no? Can you see it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Why it is called benzo-bifuran?
Because the numbering,
Hmm.
like 1 and 2, between that B comes.
1
like
and 2 or 2 and 3?
Between 2 and 3. Sorry, between 2 and
If you
3.
can see this, can you see the cursor? This is
Yes,
1
so the double
and
bond
2.
comes there.
Yeah, this is 2 and 3. This is A phase, this is B phase. Okay, I'll be showing it in the
Yes.
board. Everybody look at the board. Okay, everybody look at the board. I'll be writing it down so that you understand. So this is furan. Yes. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, and this is E. Yes or no? Did you get
Yes,
it?
sir.
Now you fuse a benzene ring over here. Yes? Yes or no? So you can draw it
Yes,
like
sir.
this. Okay. So at which phase this benzene, when benzene fuse, it is called benzo. And which phase it is attaching to the benzene is attaching to your furan? B. That's why it is called benzo-bifuran. Did you get this naming?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want somebody else to tell. I am not. Can somebody volunteer themselves to read the next, explain me the next to the class? Somebody volunteer. Hello? I don't remember anybody's name. Hello? Hello? So I want Anita. Now I've got my mobile with me. Tell me, Anita,
Yes, sir.
now tell me the second. Explain me the second.
Here in the benzene ring, later it is attached to 2 to 3 ring of pyridine,
2 to 3.
nitro.
It is attached to the second and third carbon. That phase is known as what?
B.
B.
Why it is called B?
Yeah. So benzo, B,
B
pyridine.
pyridine.
Okay. Your pyridine always, your heteroatom always comes to the right hand side of the name. Your parent heterocycle will always be written on the right hand side. And whichever ring is fused, it is written on the left hand side, and you put an O after the 4 letters. And next is Atulya. Explain me the next example.
Benzene ring, it is attached to thiophene
Yeah.
at 3 and 4 carbon atom. So it is called benzo C thiophene.
Did everybody get this?
Yes, sir.
Karunya,
Yes, sir.
Explain me the next one.
A benzene ring, it is attached to thiophene at fourth and fifth carbon.
Thiophene, it's not thiopine. Okay, it's a
Yeah.
how many ring? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 membered ring. Thiopine, pine. Okay,
Yes.
and where it is attached to which you tell me now. Sure, write
Fourth
it in
and
a,
fifth carbon.
write in your book and explain me. I'll check your. I'll pin you. Show me. Put on your video and show me the, explain me. Karunya,
Yes, sir.
put on the
So-
video. Yeah,
So I had a doubt.
tell me.
In benzobifuran,
Huh.
the structure which you wrote on the board, that I understood, but the structure in the presentation,
Don't go by the numbering. See, that number is for the entire heterocyclic. Okay.
but sir, between 2 and 3, B
See,
comes, the
you,
B
it,
phase.
you
Between
see,
2 and 3.
see, if you see only furan, that's why I said only furan, then I connected it. Benzene, yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you go by normal, you can see one. When you do a normal nomenclature of an heterocyclic, it is full quinoline. It is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will be like this. Okay, 6.
So why don't we count that carbon?
So it is not. That I'll be
Between
showing.
three
Now
and
that's
four.
why that 2 attachment is shown by the word B. Yes or no? The 2
Okay,
attachment,
so
1 and 2, is represented by that word B in the bracket. Yes or no? The
so
carbon
so when
atom
we are
would-
facing it like ABCD, should it anti-clockwise or clockwise?
It is not wherever it is fused. Numbering the least, the point of attachment should get the least number. Okay. The point of attachment should get the least number. Can you say A, B, C? Can you put D? As per your this thing, it should be D.
A,
Okay, Reni?
yeah.
But what was the our nomenclature? Your this thing substitution should get the least possible number. Yes or no?
Yeah. Yes,
Now
sir.
you understood?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. Where is Karunya? Karunya?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'll just pin you up. Wait a minute. Explain. Everybody pin Karunya.
Can you all see this?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah. Go ahead. Tell me. Explain. Explain, Karunya.
Yes, sir.
Explain. I can see you.
1 minute, sir.
Yeah, I can see the slide. Whatever you're showing. Now explain
Okay,
me.
so
Yeah.
the benzene ring
Yeah.
is attached to thiophene
Hmm.
at the fourth and fifth carbon.
Yeah.
That is at the D phase.
Yeah.
So we say we give the nomenclature as benzo D thiophene.
Thiophene. Okay. Next. Next, I want Reni. Now you explain the nomenclature. Reni. Put on your video.
So yeah. So give me 2 minutes. I just write it down.
Okay.
One, two.
So once you understand this, it's easy. Pin ready. Understand this because this will be continuously repeated.
Sure.
You can write it in two possible ways, whichever you want. Naphtho also you can write, isoquinoline also you can. There are two ways that you can write this particular structure. Yeah, tell me.
So how is it F, sir?
You tell me
This
now.
point of
Tell.
this
You.
point of
You do,
attachment.
which is, what did I say? The point of attachment should get the least.
T, E, F. Can we?
A. See how the numbering is given over here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3. Okay, 5.
1, A, B, C, D, E, F. Can you see the cursor where it is?
So that is F.
Yeah. See, A,
C.
because you have to go in a cyclic manner now. This is the first ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So A, B, C, D, E, F. This is the F phase that it gets connected. Quinoline. Yes? Did you get it? Rennie, everybody, are you seeing Rennie's paper?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Rennie, A, B, C, D, did you get it? A, B, C, D, F? A, B,
Yes,
C, D,
sir.
E, F? Now it's the same compound. Everybody listen. Can you written as pyridine as a base? Pyridine as a parent. Okay? So when you write pyridine as a balance, it is naphtho B pyridine. Can you get it? Naphtho B pyridine. This is naphthalene ring, not two ring fused. It is called as naphthalene. And it is fused to your pyridine ring. And at which phase? B phase. So you have written over here, naphtho also can be written. So your benzo F quinoline can also be written as naphtho B pyridine. Got it, Reni?
Okay,
Rensita,
sir.
Karunya, Devika, Anita, did you get it? The two ways you can name this compound?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So there are different ways you can name the compounds. You should be confident in that. Okay. Did you get this nomenclature? Type of nomenclature? Can we go for the next? Any doubts in this particular slide? Yes or no? Okay. Now, I want Rushank. Can you read it for me?
Yes, sir. In a heterocyclic ring, other things being equal, numbering preferably commences at a saturated rather than an unsaturated heteroatom, as depicted in the following examples.
So what do you see? If there is a saturated and unsaturated, two heteroatoms, okay? So where did the numbering will start from where, Rushank?
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen, both are nitrogen. Which one it will start from?
to give the other methyl groups the least possible numbering.
No. Understand my question, Prashant. There are two heteroatoms. Yes or no over here? Nitrogen,
Yes,
two
sir.
nitrogens are there. Yes? In the particular structure. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So see the nitrogen, why it is given one? Does it contain any unsaturation? Nitrogen one,
No,
any double bond?
no, sir.
The second nitrogen, does it contain any double bond?
Yes, the second one contains.
So in such cases, everybody listen, the saturated heteroatom will be given the first preference. Got it? Everybody?
Yes.
Everybody means everybody. I could see yes, sir, from everybody. I can understand. I
Yes,
understand.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay. So now you understood how? So nitrogen getting one saturated, then your now the naming will be 5-methyl 3 or 3-ethyl 5-methyl pyra 1H
So,
pyrazole. Okay, 1H pyrazole. You can write 1H pyrazole because the nitrogen has one hydrogen atom. Okay, you can write that way also. Okay, did you get now?
yes, sir.
Next, I want somebody else to read it for me. Wait, Harsha. Harsha, read it for me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
In a heterocyclic ring with maximum unsaturation, if the double bonds can be arranged in more than one way, then their positions are specified by numbering those nitrogen or carbon atoms which are not multiply bonded, that is, bear an extra hydrogen atom.
Okay, so and it is written by italic
Capital.
and the position where there is an extra hydrogen, yet it is written as numericals. Yes or no? Now,
Yes, sir.
structure over here, second structure. So leave that first structure. Why it is called 2H pyrene? Harsha?
Yes, sir.
Tell me. You have studied you have just read something. Did you understand what you have read? Harsha?
Not complete.
Not completely. Okay. What was the line they said? If there are more number of maximum unsaturation, there is maximum unsaturation in this particular compound. There are two unsaturation and only only one saturated bond. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now the carbon or nitrogen where there is an extra hydrogen, that is represented by an position. You put the position. Now it is 2. Now second position, extra hydrogen. Can you see everybody?
Yes,
Can you
sir.
see? It is 2. At the second position, there is second carbon. There is 1 extra hydrogen. So it is 2H pyrene. Did you get this name? Because at this only one position, there is an extra hydrogen. That's why it is known as 2H pyrene. Third example, Harsha, can you explain me now why it is called 3H
Atom, there are two spaces. So at the third position,
At the third position,
SCP.
there is an extra hydrogen. Yes or no?
Yeah.
There is an extra hydrogen at the third position of azepine. Okay, rest all is unsaturated. Yes or no, Harsha? Rest all.
Yes, sir.
There are unsaturation. Only at the third position there is an extra hydrogen. That's why it is known as 3H.
3H SCP.
Azepine. Now go for the next example. Go for the next example. 1H pyrimidone. Why it is called pyrimidone? Why it is called 1H? Why it is called NH?
Because all the other positions are unsaturated. Only the first position is saturated.
And what does that first position contain? Nitrogen.
Hydrogen.
Nitrogen. Nitrogen carries an extra hydrogen. That's why it is known as,
Hydrogen.
why it is called 2? Because
One.
at the second position there is a carbonyl group. That's why it is called 2 bracket 1H pyrimidone. ONE stands for your carbonyl at the second position. Okay, this is how the nomenclature is done. Did you get everybody? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let somebody else read the next thing. Atulya,
Yes, sir.
can you read it for me? The next one. After that, what she has, Harsha has completed. Next line, you can read it for me.
The position of the double bond can also be specified as 1, 2, etc. Which
Delta.
indicates
You put a triangle that is
delta.
known as delta 1, 2. Okay.
delta 1, delta
delta.
2, etc.
Which
Which
indicates
indicates that 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4 atoms respectively have a double bond.
so the delta 1 means that the double bond is between first atom and the second atom in the ring. Got it, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So delta 2 means the bond is between second and the third. Okay. The first letter that is written is the from where the double bond starts and the ends. Okay. Delta 2 means the double bond is between second and the third. Delta 1 means this is the bond between 1 and the 2 carbon. Did everybody understand this phenomena? Yes, or no?
sir.
Okay. Now can you name it, Atulya, for me this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
First, we will be giving priority to the heteroatom, which is the nitrogen. So it is
Okay.
given 1, and then to the unsaturated compound, that is the second one, and then 3, 4. On the fifth, there is 2 methyl groups are present.
Yeah.
So
And
it
so
is
don't get confused that the delta position. It's only the double bond. Numbering should be 1, 2, 3, 4 like this cyclic. But since your double bond should get the least position numbering because it's an substituent in the ring. Only that when you see, don't get confused. Okay, if you see it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Reni, it's especially for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a normal one because unsaturation is an substituent. But the double bond is between, if you see, it should be the least number. So it's between 2 and 3. That's, you should go exactly opposite for that. Okay. Did you get it, Reni? No. You see, it is 5, 5, delta 2. Can you see it, everybody?
Yes, sir.
So you might get confused, sir. We are going clockwise and again anti-clockwise direction. Why? But this particular nomenclature, you are just giving emphasis on the double bonds where there is no double bond. So there is no double bond between the second and the third when you go in a other way. But the substitution should get this double bond is given first priority, then the alkyl substitute. That's why it is known as 1, 2, 5, 5 dimethyl delta 2 pyrroline and oxide. Okay. Next example is delta 2 pyrroline. Pyrroline is what? Your saturated ring. So where is the double bond? At the 1 and the 2 position. That is known as delta 2 pyrroline. This is how you do the nomenclature. Devika, now I want everybody to write these points. Okay. Along as Devika reads, I want you all to write these points. These are the basics for understanding the phenomenon of heterocyclic naming. Okay. Devika, can you go one by one slowly?
Okay, sir. Heterocyclic compound ring with more than one heteroatom. The usual rules for terms to indicate ring size and suffixes for degree of saturation are used, as are the prefixes for the various heteroatoms.
So they use like what are prefixes? Aza, azole. Okay. Oxygen means oxa. Nitrogen means aza. They are used as a, and the ring size and the position is determined by the number, okay, are all written as the prefixes. Next.
They are listed in the following order of priorities derived from the main groups of periodic system and then within each group by increasing atomic number.
Okay. So group 4, what are present? Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, and L. That's why the priority is more for oxygen followed by sulfur. This is for. So you can just basically remember oxygen, sulfur, nitrogen, and phosphor are the 4 main this thing that you consider. So priority is what? Oxygen is given the first priority. It depends upon the position on the periodic table. Okay. So whichever group comes first in the periodic table will be given the higher priority.
This
Devika?
listing can be
Ah.
simplified greatly by taking out the most commonly found heteroatoms in their order, which gives oxygen, sulfur, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Each
So which is oxygen is
heteroatom
given the highest property followed by sulfur, nitrogen, and phosphorus.
phosphorus. Each heteroatom is then given a number as found in the ring, with that of highest priority given position 1.
So which is the highest priority, which will be given the position 1. So if there is oxygen and nitrogen, which will be given the first position? Devika, oxygen and sulfur is the oxygen will be given the first priority. Sulfur and nitrogen, Devika?
Sulfur is given.
Okay, good. Understood, everybody? Next.
Yes, sir.
Next.
A saturated heteroatom with an extra hydrogen attached is given priority over an unsaturated form of the same atom, as in 1H13-diazole.
Did you understand this? We studied now. If there is unsaturated and saturated diol, which one will be given the higher priority? Saturated diol. Okay, means wherever the heteroatom there is no double bond. Now, if there are both the heteroatoms are same, then the heteroatom where there is no, which is saturated, will be given higher priority. Got it? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I'll ask questions later. I'll be
The
putting some structures in the board. I'll ask you which priority and all. So don't simply say yes, sir. Okay, next.
The numbers are grouped together in front of the heteroatom listing.
Okay,
Like
listing.
1,3-oxazole and not 1-oxaz-3-azole.
Okay, how do you write? 1,3-oxazole. Continuously you mix two words. So if you can see, A is common in both the words. So you remove that vowel and you combine together to form oxazole. Okay, got it? Next. Next, read it.
The heteroatom prefixes follow the numbers in the priorities given previously. Punctuation is important. In the examples to follow, a comma separates numbers and a dash separates the numbers from the heteroatom prefixes.
Did you understand? A comma separates the positions of the heteroatom and the dash separates the number from the heteroatom. Okay? The dash separates the number from the heteroatom prefixes. So this is how we have to write. Comma means between the two numbers and dash means between the number and the heterocyclic prefix. Okay, next.
A slight modification is used when two vowels are joined. One is deleted as in the listing for oxaza, which becomes simply oxaza.
Did you get it? Everybody? I said that before. Oxa and azole. we are combining together, but you can remove that A common vowel and you can name it as oxa, asa. Okay. Next.
As for monohetero systems, substituents on the rings are listed alphabetically with a ring atom number for each.
So you depend upon the alphabetical order. You put the position of the ring, and whenever you name, it will be given as per the alphabetical order. Okay, it will be named as per the alphabetical order. Next.
Heterocyclic compounds. A convention frequently allowed is to write the structure with the hetero ring on the right with its heteroatom at the bottom.
So how to write? Always write the heteroatom in the right and the heteroatom at the bottom. Whenever you write the structure, this is how you have to follow. The heteroatom always should be at the bottom. Okay. Next.
If two heterocyclic rings are fused, additional rules are required. A parent ring is selected and the other ring is considered fused on, as was observed for the benzene fusion. Some rules are as follows. If one ring contains N or nitrogen, it is considered the parent and its name is placed last in the compound's name.
So did you get now why we are reading benzo-b-pyridine? So in this case, first example in quinoline, it is a pyridine ring. Yes or no? Yeah, it's a parent compound. So what is fused to that? Benzene. So it is known as what? Benzo. Now understood why it is ABCD? Yeah.
Yes.
A, B, C, D. The numbering is ulta, but between 1 and 2, this is the point where it is least nearest to the attachment. That's why it is known as 4A and C. The point of attachment is 4A and this is 8A. This is given as numbering 4A and 8. The attachment is between A 1, 2, and 3. So that's why it is known as benzo-b-pyridine. Benzo-c-pyridine, why it is called? Isoquinoline is called as what? Benzo-c-quinoline. Why? Because it is attached at the C phase of your pyridine is attached to your benzene, and you write it as benzene is replaced by benzo, and at which position it is written as bracket, square bracket, and followed by your parent hetero. Benzopyroindole can be written as, indole is what? Nothing but benzene fused to your pyrrole ring. So at which position it is ring? The benzene, and that is 1H. Why it is called 1H? Devika? Devika, why it is
Because
called
there is
1H?
an extra attachment of hydrogen on the end.
On the ring. There is a saturated, and there is an extra hydrogen attached to your nitrogen. That's why it is called 1. And which position it is at the first nitrogen. That's why it is called as 1H benzo. So it should be in italics. It is in this thing bold lines. It should be in italics. So that is a mistake in their typing. So just please remember that. Benzo b pyrrole. This is your nomenclature. Next, Raining, can you read it for me?
Yes, sir. If both ring contains N, the larger ring is the parent.
Understood what is? If both the rings contain, if it is an, what did you see? If both the rings contain N means the higher ring should be taken as, no, more number of carbon should be, more number of atoms should be considered as a parent ring. Okay, the larger ring should be considered as a parent. I'll be showing you the examples later. You'll be understanding it better. Read it.
If both rings are of the same size, that with the most N nitrogen atom is the parent. Or
Okay.
if the same number of nitrogen atoms is present, that fusion of the rings that gives the smallest number of nitrogen when the bicycle is numbered is chosen.
Okay. So two rings which are as more number of nitrogens are considered as parent, as the parent. Next.
If no nitrogen is present, oxygen has priority over sulfur and phosphorus, and then the above rules are applied.
So if nitrogen is not present, then we have to give priority to which ring? Which contains sulfur. Okay, no, sorry, oxygen and over sulfur. Okay, next.
The ring fused onto the parent has the suffix O. Common names are used where possible to simplify the name.
Okay, let us see the names, how they are named. So if read.
Some examples are pyrido for pyridine, pyrolo for pyrrole, thiolo
Ino,
for thiophene,
furo
Fu
for
for
furan,
furan,
imidazo
imidazole
for
for imidazole, then
pyrimid,
pyrimido for pyrimidine, pyrazino for
pyrazino, and among others. Okay, if naphthalene means naphtha. Okay, understood why, how to name the attached ring? Yes.
yes sir.
Now next.
The face letter of the parent ring where the fusion occurs is placed in brackets preceding the name of that ring.
Okay, so you know now the face where it is attached, it is written in a square word preceding the previous ring. Okay, wherever it is attached, followed by a comma.
The position numbers of the fused ring are placed inside the brackets before the face letter of the parent ring separated by a comma. The proper numbers for the fused ring are those that are encountered as one goes around the ring in the same direction as going alphabetically around the faces of the parent. These need not be in numerical order.
This need not be in numerical. Got this sentence very well?
Yes.
Okay, now let's see the, can you explain now this name numbering, Reni? Which will be the
Yes,
now parent compound?
The parent compound is pyridine
Got it? Why it is pyridine? Yes,
because yeah, N is given the preference
N is
with
given the preference
unsaturated.
and pyridine is higher than your pyrrole. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now you give the numbering. Where will be the pyrrole attaching to the pyridine? Second and third carbon. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And which phase of your pyridine gets attached to your pyrrole?
B phase. B
phase.
phase.
So what will be the number?
So
Numbering?
1H pyrrolo
2, 3 dash
2, 3 at B pyridine.
pyridine. Understood the nomenclature, everybody? Vilsita, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes.
I'll be giving one example here. The next example you will be explaining. Come. Wait, the example is there. Okay, now explain this. Explain this and give me the reason why.
Your parent chain is pyrrole.
Yeah, parent ring is pyrrole. Why? Is it pyrrole? Yeah, if there is nitrogen containing, the nitrogen is given the first priority. Next is?
It is attached at between 2, 3. So it's named
2,
as
3 of
B.
what? 2, 3 of what?
Carbon.
2, 3 of what? Furan.
Furan.
Okay. And
Yes.
at which phase of your pyrrole is attached to it?
B.
B. So what? Now furan can be written as? Why it is written as 6H? Oxygen is given first priority. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6H because nitrogen has got extra hydrogen. So that's why it is 6H dash furo 2,3B pyrrole. Understood the nomenclature?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everybody? Okay. Now Vilsita, can you read it? Read me? This is done, no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this thing is done.
Done.
So some of the examples of heterocyclic compounds, okay? We'll be dealing it with more. Yeah. So these are some of the heterocyclic. See, pyridine ring, where do you see pyridine ring? You see it in, if this pyridine ring is seen in tetrahydrofolic acid, okay? The folic acid. Remember all these things. This will be seen in your folic acid. Purine is present in your, where is purine present? Devika, where is purine present?
CMP,
Huh?
CMP and
PMP, what is PMP?
The guanine and adenine.
Guanine, not guanine, yeah. Nitrogen bases of your DNA RNA.
DNA.
Okay. So this chromane, where did you see the structure of chromane? Vilsita?
Yes, sir.
This chromane structure, can you see it somewhere? It is familiar to you? Is this structure familiar to you? Coumarin, we did it na? Day before yesterday, last week. It is similar to your coumarin and flavones. These are some of your heterocyclic. You say imidazole means 1,3-diazole means 5-membered ring containing nitrogen at the 1 and 3 position. Furazone is nothing but it's a three hetero cycles are present in one 5-membered ring. At oxygen as 1 and nitrogen at 2 and 5. Pyridazine is 1 and 2 diazine. Pyrimidine is 1,3-diazine. Pyrazine is 1,4-diazine. Pyrene is 6-membered oxygen containing ring. Pyrrolidine is your saturated 5-membered ring containing nitrogen. Piperidine is a saturated 6-membered ring containing nitrogen. Piperazine is what is piperazine? Vilsita, can you see similar to which is an analog of what? Piperazine? Can you tell me? Piperazine is saturated analog of what? Vilsita?
Yes, sir.
Piperazine is saturated analog of what?
Piperidine.
Piperazine is a saturated analog of what? Are you understanding my
Piperidine,
question,
sir.
Vilsita?
Yeah.
What is pyrazine? Where is the nitrogen position? One and 4. Yes or no?
Yes.
See in piperazine where it is the position of nitrogen? 1 and 4.
Same 1 and 4.
It is the saturated analog of
Saturated.
pyrazine.
Pyrazine.
Okay. Piperidine is your saturated analog of your pyridine. Okay. Pyrrolidine is the saturated analog of your pyrrole. Okay.
Pyrrole.
So this is how you can remember the structures and the name. These are some of the other heterocyclic which will be frequently coming to coming in contact. Okay. So just practice this heterocyclic. If you don't understand anything, you can come to me. See, this is not thiophene containing. Okay, benzothiophene, 4S thiopyrene, and thiopene. Nitrogen and oxygen containing. See, if it is 1,3, it is called as oxazole. It is standard. If it is 1,2, it is known as isoxazole. 1, 2, 3 oxadiazole means oxygen at 1 and nitrogen at 2 and 3. 1, 3, 4 means oxadiazole means oxygen it has 1 and nitrogen is at 3 and 4. This is how morpholine is oxygen containing at 1 and nitrogen at the 4th position. Some of the examples of thiazoles, 1,3-thiazole, 1,2-thiazole, 1,2,3 thiadiazole. All these compounds will be coming in your future. I'll be telling. So please practice it. This name of the structure. So what is this? What are these? Rainy?
Nitrogenous bases, sir.
Nitrogen bases present in what?
DNA and RNA.
RNA. DNA and RNA. So what is the basic structure of purine? It is imidazoles, pyrimidines fused to your imidazoles. Okay. It is pyrimidines fused to your imidazole. The structure which was written earlier was wrong. Okay. It was not pyrazine. It is imidazole fused to your pyrimidine. Okay. So what are the examples of purine? Adenine. What is adenine? There is an amino group. Okay. And in guanine, there is your amino, there is an amide and an amino group. So pyrimidine analogs are uracil, cytosine, and thymine. Okay. Thymine contains an extra methyl group at the 5th position. Okay. Thymine contains an extra compared to your extra nitrogen, extra methyl group at the 5th position. These are some of the analogs. Okay. What is the difference between deoxyribose nucleotide and ribonucleotide? Reni, can you see it? What is the difference between a ribose sugar and deoxyribose sugar, DNA?
The number of hydroxyl groups.
Yeah. So in case of deoxy, at the 2nd position, there is no OH. Everybody remember all these things. Okay. In case of deoxy ribose sugar, that is DNA, there is no oxygen, no OH at the sugar moiety. Okay. That's why it is called as deoxyribose. And ribose is 5-membered sugar moiety. It's a 5-membered sugar moiety. This is how the nucleotides are represented, purine and pyrimidine nucleotide. All these structures you have to practice. Okay. I'll be asking this all. Okay. This is just for your information that I put, so that whenever the things are coming, it will be easier for you. But the structures of these structures, whatever is there in the slides, that are compulsory to be known to you. Okay. So this was some of the slight introduction for your heterocyclic. Okay. This was some of your